Paris is one of the most famous cities in the world, as it's known for its beauty and rich history. But soon enough, it'll become known for being home to Europe's largest ever infrastructure project, the groundbreaking 45 billion Grand Paris Express. This ambitious project is how Paris plans to tackle a colossal problem that the city has been grappling with for years. So what exactly is it? And does it justify the colossal price tag of $45 billion? We're going to answer these questions in this video. So join us as we go through what exactly is the Grand Paris Express and why Paris is building it. Welcome back to PST Mega Projects. Beneath Paris's glimmering surface, the city is facing a huge problem. You see, Paris's metro system is always overwhelmed with astonishing demand, as more than 4 million passengers use the Paris metro each day, making it one of the oldest and most used metro systems in the world. Additionally, in the wider Île-de-France region, there's a different issue. Here, far from the metro's reach, the millions of residents in the region depend on cars and buses as their main methods of transportation, and this forces them to sit through long commutes and congested roads. These passengers' dependency on cars and buses not only consumes much of their time, but also contributes to the pollution in the city. And so, Paris was tasked with finding a solution to these two problems. And that's how the Grand Paris Express project was created. This ambitious transport infrastructure mega project, which was first proposed in 2007, aims to completely transform transportation in Paris and the Île-de-France region by better connecting the suburbs with the city's airports and business centers, without the need to travel through Paris itself. This will bridge the gap between urban and suburban areas, and also help with reducing traffic congestion and carbon emissions, as it's expected to take 150,000 cars off the roads. It will also boost the real estate market in the region, as 55 new housing and development sites will be created around it, and many of them will include green spaces and walkable neighborhoods. And so, the Paris authorities created a publicly owned agency called the Grand Paris Society in 2010 to oversee the construction of the project. The project will be a fully automated rail system with 4 new orbital metro lines constructed around the city and running through 200 kilometers of tunnels. They will be called Line 15, Line 16, Line 17, and Line 18. In addition to that, there will be extensions made on 2 of the metro network's existing lines, which are Line 11 and Line 14, to connect with the new tunnels, and 68 new stations will be built along the route, with each of them having a distinctive architectural design. This will double the size of Paris's existing metro, which will, in turn, increase its capacity to 6 million passengers per day by 2026. Not only that, but the stations could generate revenue in other ways, as they'll feature retail shops, among other amenities and exclusive secure parking spaces for bicycles and cars. Construction on this mega project began in 2015 with the Line 14, because this line is considered the backbone of the entire metro network, which made extending it towards its north and south an extremely urgent matter. The Line 14 North extension features a 6 kilometers long tunnel that opened in 2020 with 4 new stations from Saint-Lazare to Marie de Saint-Ouen, and is now being extended further north of Marie de Saint-Ouen to Saint-Denis-Pleyel, to connect with the upcoming Lines 15, 16, and 17 sometime in 2024. As for the line's south extension, it features a 14 kilometers long tunnel from Olympiades to Orly Airport and 7 new stations, which will make it easier for travelers to access the airport by train. The construction on the full project is set to be completed in stages over 2020 and 2030. For the construction, 21 tunnel boring machines, or TBMs, were used. The machines carved their way through 10 to 15 meters of rock and soil each day to form the new tunnels, which will set 30 to 40 meters beneath the city. In fact, 90% of the construction work on the Grand Paris Express occurs underground, reducing years of noise and disruption to just a few construction sites, while the other 10% will be on the ground level. This depth makes the construction of the new stations extremely challenging, and engineers are effectively building 10-story structures below ground. In order to reach that depth, the TBMs are lowered in pieces down pre-built shafts along the route of the tunnel before being fully assembled underground. Then, they excavate, support, and line the tunnels with concrete as they move deeper, leaving behind a completed tunnel. Additionally, there are plans to build 12 service structures, strategically placed 800 meters apart in order to ensure smooth metro operations and enhance passenger safety and comfort. Not only that, but the project will include 7 technical centers to ensure smooth operations at the metro. As for the trains that will be used for the project, we know that they will be running at speeds between 55 and 110 kilometers per hour, will feature a modern design and electric braking with solutions for driverless automated systems. In addition, to ensure the comfort of the riders, the trains will include LED lighting, USB sockets, internet connection, and spaces for wheelchair users. Also, in July of 2023, the first train of the Grand Paris Express, comprising 6 cars, was transported to the Champigny Operations Center for assembly and testing, which it passed successfully. But the digging isn't actually the hardest part of the construction, but it's actually the coordination between the construction teams. You see, the Grand Paris Society has divided work on the new network into many different packages and awarded contracts to different companies, which found it hard to coordinate their work at first. And that's where BM technology comes in. And the Grand Paris Express is actually the largest project ever to use that technology. This technology is basically a process involving the generation and management of digital representations of the physical and functional characteristics of places. And the construction teams used it to produce one large 3D digital model of the entire network covering 12,000 square kilometers, including the surface, geological strata, and over 1 million buildings in and around the project. This was done in order to help the engineers provide a clear picture showing how each component in the project will interact with other components, as well as allow the construction team and engineers to monitor all progress in real time. So, there are a lot of benefits that come with this project, and its construction is extremely challenging, which explains the high price tag of $45 billion. 30% of this will be funded by the French government, and the remaining 70% will be financed by local authorities through taxes, subsidies, and loans. Originally, Paris wanted to complete the project by 2024, which is the same year the city is hosting the Summer Olympics Games. But after delays thanks to floods, as well as the pandemic, this goal became out of reach. On the positive side, the new extensions to the already existing Line 14 will be finished in time for the event. And there are currently no plans to delay the project's completion beyond 2030. And so far, over 100 kilometers of tunnels have already been excavated. Meaning there's a ton of progress already completed, and most recently in March, one of the TBMs being used for construction completed the final section of Grand Paris Express's Line 16 almost 4 years after excavation work began. This recent breakthrough makes Line 16 the first new line to be fully excavated on the Grand Paris Express. To conclude, the Grand Paris Express is set to add a lot of value to the Paris's economy, as well as the French economy as a whole, since it'll increase the capacity of the Paris Metro, and that will increase its revenues. This project is definitely set to transform the lives of Parisians and everyone living in the populous Île-de-France region, and will allow France to cement its name as the European leader in developing and building railway systems, as well as one of the global leaders along with countries like China and Japan, so we can't wait for the Grand Paris Express to become a reality. Well, that is everything for now. What do you think? Will this mega project be a valuable asset to Paris? Please let us know in the comments below. And if you haven't, please subscribe and leave a like for this video. Your support helps us continue our work. Thanks again for your support, and I will see you in the next one.